Hi everyone, specifically my fellow budding Scyther and Scizor mains out there. I'm a gold ribbon Scyther Scizor user with a 65% win rate on ranked matches, so this video has some credibility attached to it. I'm here to share with you guys in full detail how to play Scyther and Scizor, so you can get your hands on brawling with and slicing through your opponents with every resource you have, and this Pokemon has many. And for simplicity's sake, I'll be referring to the builds as Bullet Dance for Bullet Punch and Sword Dance, Bullet Hit for Bullet Punch and Double Hit, Dual Hit for Dual Wing Beat and Double Hit, as well as Dual Dance for Dual Wing Beat and Sword Dance. So, I'm gonna go over the emblem builds first for each of the items. So if you want to run Scizor, for both Scizor builds, this would be your ideal build because you're running 6 brown, 6 white, and 6 blue with a bit of a buff on offense on your attack. When you have this build on, you can get a buff in all the stats pretty much that Scizor uses, and it's very much the entire build that you want to go around for Scizor. But Scyther build also works on Scizor, which is the 6 brown, 6 white. But Scyther doesn't really have much use for defense, so this is the only build that I would use for Scyther. So it's plus 16 attack, plus 63 movement speed, and that's all I need. And the 6 white buff for the HP. Now for Scyther, this is your preferred build. So firstly, I would like to say that Razor Claw is a must on Scizor and Scyther, specifically Scizor, but it's also very good on Scyther, because Razor Claw, I will explain a bit more later when I get into the combos, does extra damage on your basic attacks after using a move, and this is very useful for bursting down opponents and getting the extra grip on the opponents because it has an extra slow on your next basic attack. And specifically for Scizor, since he can launch an attack, Bullet Punch, every 2 seconds, the next basic attack will slow down again and again. So imagine you're being latched on by an all-rounder that's just healing up from you and you have no way to run, but you know, the guy is just latching to you all the time. Yeah, that's how it feels on Razor Claw, and the extra damage is also very useful. So Razor Claw would be the item to go in all of your builds for Scyther and Scizor. Now for Scyther specifically, I run Focus Band because it's not just to get the special defense, but it's to help in clutch moments, because Scyther would need some extra HP sometimes to sustain a bit more in the team wipes, and you would need Focus Band almost all the time, especially because Scyther excels when he's over leveled, and when you are over leveled you don't want to die to anyone, so you're gonna try to run away as much as possible, and Focus Band's gonna help you run away. Now the final item on Scyther would be your Energy Amplifier. This item is amazing when paired with the Unite move, and I'll go through why later, but the Unite move is very important in helping you basically burst through a lot of stuff and the opponents as well, and it adds additional combo possibilities when you go into the battle. Okay, for Scizor, there are 2 types of builds. One is the safety build, which simply just take the Scyther build and replace it with Weakness Policy. So this would be my ideal Scizor build. This would be for double hit Scizor, and double hit Scizor really just maximizes the utility of Razor Claw, and the more the opponents fight you, the more powerful you'll get, and if you need emergency runaway, you can get it from Focus Band. But if you are going Swords Dance Scizor, then your healing, you want to max out your healing, and if you want to max out your healing, what you'll need is good offense. So replace your Focus Band with your attack weight. So this would be a stacking Sword Dance Scizor, preferably go on top or bottom lane, but if you wanna stack mid game, you can do so and enter the jungle first. Although if I get jungle, I'll usually run Scyther or double hit Scizor. Well, for your battle item, there are 3 things you can run on Scizor. First thing is your X attack. This one Scyther doesn't need, you can just give it straight to Scizor if you want extra burst damage. If the opponents generally don't have CC, X attack is really good because you can get extra burst damage and you don't have to deal with CC. But if you have to deal with CC, which most of the time I do in ranked matches because I don't know what the opponents would pick, I would run full heal for safety, just in case, you know, I get caught in a Gardevoir Unite move or something like that. I can activate my full heal to get out of the sticky situation. The final thing that's good on Scizor but requires a bit of micro practice would be Shedinja Doll. Shedinja Doll is particularly annoying to deal with from my experience. And if you play double hit Scizor with Shedinja Doll, you can just jump on opponents, activate Shedinja Doll, wait for your teammates to follow up, and then continue bursting your opponents down. When played right, Shedinja Doll Scizor is also very useful. Okay, so first let's go through the basic attack. For Scyther, this lasts throughout the entire duration of the game if you stay a Scyther. It becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, dealing additional damage and increasing the user's movement speed. But the basic attack for Scizor becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, decreasing the movement speed of opposing Pokemon when it hits, and increasing the user's defense for a short time. So if you notice, this is like Razor Claw. So when you run Razor Claw on Scizor, it pretty much activates almost all the time and is once again very annoying. With the Technician ability now, after the Pokemon uses a move, the next basic attack will change and deal 2 consecutive basic attacks. So why this is important, when you do the math in the games, you want to maximize the utility of Technician ability, aka its boosted attack, to get through your jungle as quick as possible. Together with Razor Claw, when you combine maths and Razor Claw, you can rip through your jungle in, I'd say, 40 seconds, because Technician is really good. If you do the math correctly, which I will teach you guys later, you guys will be able to max out your damage when you're in the jungling or laning phase. Basically, this means that when you use any of the moves, Quick Attack, Fury Cutter, whatsoever, your next basic attack, if it's a boosted, it will play boosted into a normal basic attack. So imagine this combined with Scizor's basic attack, decreasing the movement speed of opposing Pokemon. That is very annoying to deal with because you're gonna be slowed literally almost for all the time Scizor is latched onto you, and the only way to escape is, you know, eject button or one of your skills to escape the particular Pokemon. So Dual Wing Beat is for Scyther. So at level 5, the mechanic is when you get to level 5, you'll get to pick between Dual Wing Beat and Bullet Punch. Just like a lot of Pokemon, you get to pick between 2 moves. But for Scizor and Scyther, it will affect pretty much your entire gameplay, because Dual Wing Beat is an assassin's move which will go on Scyther, and Bullet Punch is an all-rounder's move, a brawler's move, which would go perfectly for Scizor. So depending on which move you pick, you will evolve into Scyther for Dual Wing Beat and Scizor for Bullet Punch. Now, Dual Wing Beat is basically a slice and dash attack that goes in an X shape no matter where you position it. So when you hit a target, you'll gain an extra usage of the move, which is a dash that can phase through walls. It functions both offensively and defensively, so when you put in area-based damage, you can also use the second charge to run from opponents who are chasing you. So just saying, the primary attack is an X shape, and upon hitting an opponent or a wild Pokemon, you will get a secondary attack, which is a dash. This dash can go through walls. For Bullet Punch, this is Scizor's signature sustaining move. It's what gives Scizor its infamous immortality. This move heals upon attacking opponents. So with every consecutive use, the move will gain an extra hit, increasing from 3 to a maximum of 5. So just saying, if you get to 5 hits and you keep attacking your opponents, it will stay as 5 hits. By hitting an opponent, the cooldown also becomes 3 seconds, which helps Scizor's sustaining. Now, an emblem build I didn't mention earlier was the 6 brown, 7 black build. And such a build can work on Scizor because it would decrease Bullet Punch to about 2 seconds, which does help and bursts out extra Razor Claw a lot, but I would strongly recommend against it because it is a high risk build. When you run such an emblem build, sure, you won't get the boosts in your defense, but it also doesn't really help Scizor because Scizor, the idea is to sustain and burst, but more bullet punches doesn't give you more burst. The burst comes from your Unite move, which I will cover later. Although I do admit the 7 black build is very fun to play, so you can try that out. Okay, now for the second move that you get at level 7. Now, for double hit, it is a move that gives rise to Scizor and Scyther's combos. So a hit with double hits first engage places a marker. For Scyther it's a green X, for Scizor it's a red claw. Depending on which move one you picked. And if an opponent with the marker is knocked out, your moves will be instantly reset. So this lets you combo through your opponents one by one. So you are shredding down and resetting your moves to take down another. So this is the idea of double hit. And this, once you engage on an opponent, you will get a sort of circle range around you, and you can activate your basic attack button. So this counts as a basic attack. It just bumps into an opponent, and you can activate your Razor Claw, which slows opponents. Now Swords Dance is both a dash and a buff. It's a move that momentarily increases your attack stat. A bar will appear under your health, so when you get 7 hits, you'll gain an additional pierce attack. Now for the Unite move. Let's go through Scyther's. It's called Green Illusion Dive. So Scyther's Unite move is what basically gives it the number of combos it can pull off. So with the sheer burst damage made available by this move, opponents who are clumped up they're basically hopeless when engaged by a Scyther user, because this releases green clones, 5 green clones, that place double hit markers on opponents that they hit. So the second move of this Unite move is a dash, like Dual Wing Beat second dash, that leads the clones straight back to the user. On the second dash, the clones that if the clones hit any opponent, they will disappear. Now for Red Illusion Dive. So Red Illusion Dive has the user dash before throwing consecutive punches at designated Pokemon. So it's basically just like Green Illusion Dive, but the second use grants a push move, which will stun opponents if you hit a clone. So generally, in ranked battles, especially for Masters players, you wouldn't always look out for the stun on hitting a clone, because most of the time the clones aren't at a spot where you ideally would want to stun them. Like, it wouldn't make sense to Unite move into an opponent and push them into their base zone just to get the clone stun. But if you would position yourself to push the opponent back towards you and hit a clone, that's a bonus. But generally when I activate my Unite move, I'm already inside the opponent's formation, and I don't want to risk the opponents pulling off some quick CC on me, because that would completely disrupt everything I was intending to do. So I would immediately use my Red Illusion Dive, no matter whether it would hit a clone or not, and just basically push the opponents into my team's formation and hopefully take out 1 or 2 Pokemon. Usually you'd activate Red Illusion Dive on the opponent's backdoor attacker because the burst from this move is just huge. Now I will go through genuinely how you want to go through your early game, because your early game is basically what sets Scizor apart from Scyther. The main thing about Scyther and Scizor is that, to be frank, Scyther doesn't exactly have the best stacking game, and it is not my favorite Pokemon to stack with. But if you want to stack on Scizor, sure, just make sure you're playing Swords Dance, because Bullet Hit Scizor doesn't complement well with the idea of stacking of the attack weight, because the idea of attack weight is to increase your attack, and Swords Dance complements well because Swords Dance would translate this attack into extra healing, but double hit doesn't really complement the purpose of your stacking item. So if you're playing double hit Scizor, best to just run Focus Band, Wingness, and your Razor Claw. So if you get jungle in ranked, your first move would be Quick Attack. So I mean, the main thing for Scyther is that, and Scizor, is that for generally all your Pokemon, you want to turn on your booster attack gauge, because this is gonna help you visually to do the math. So I would Quick Attack 1, 2, that's your Technician, one more, and then Quick Attack 1, 2. So genuinely you're gonna use that 1, 2. So booster attack, Quick Attack, 1, 2, Fury Cutter, 1, 2, Quick Attack, 1, 2, Fury Cutter, 1, 2, and so on. Now I turned on move cooldown. Usually you need to wait cooldown, so in the middle of the cooldowns you genuinely would just keep basic attacking it. If you're passively laning as a Scyther and you want to evolve into a Scizor, please do not try to steal your opponent's farm. Like, if you have like some insane supporter next to you or defender next to you, by all means try. But Scyther, I mean, your range, given your range and mobility potential, Quick Attack literally has an 8-second cooldown. It is not ideal to just recklessly enter the opponent's side of the map and try to steal any farm. Yes, you will go for the competition farm, such as this farm, as well as this farm, and you would use Fury Cutter to last hit, which I will show. So if you are jungling on Scyther and Scizor, specifically Scyther, but Scizor also works in jungle, standard jungling rules apply. When you're going to top lane first, you will go for your Escavalier, then you will go Excelgor, then you would go Baltoy. So Escavalier, Excelgor, Baltoy. But if you're going bottom, then it's the reverse, which is Excelgor, Escavalier, Baltoy, and Baltoy. So if you're going bottom, you would go Excelgor, Escavalier, Baltoy. Now the reason why I take this jungling path is because, especially for Scyther and Scizor, when you reach Scyther, you still don't have enough potential for a team engage, team wipe, team push, while you are able to hit opponents, you still can't get it right. And yes, this is understandable for Scyther because all you have is a dual wing beat and a quick attack, so that's not enough burst damage, nowhere near the level 5 games of, let's say, Zoroark or Urshifu. So once you're done, you'll still be level 5, around there, maybe a high level 5 or even level 6. But by then it would be almost 8 minutes, and you would want to take your buffs. And if you took the Escavalier, Baltoy, Excelgor path, your Excelgor won't spawn in time for you to collect your buffs. So I would preferably, after I'm done with Escavalier and Excelgor, let's say I rotate top. Okay, now I would give myself double hit for extra mobility. Let's say I rotated top first, and I went Escavalier, Excelgor, Baltoy. This would help because once I'm done with top, Escavalier will be the first one to spawn, followed by Excelgor, and then I can go straight for 8-minute Bs. Or if I need an extra farm, I'll take it from the Baltoy here. Same applies for bottom lane. If I went for Excelgor first, it would be Excelgor spawning first, followed by Escavalier. Then if I need extra farm, Baltoy. If not, straight for 8-minute Bs. Okay, and that's it for my tutorial regarding the builds and the movesets. Now is the complicated part where I move into the combos. Okay, so your Bullet Dance Scizor, you notice your Bullet Punch hits 1, 2, 3, this one hits 1, 2, 3, 4, this one hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so when you hit, your 5 second reduces to a 3. So basically 1, 2, 1, 2. What you notice is that this activates your Razor Claw every basic attack. And just to put in perspective how annoying the slow is, Bullet Punch, slow on Razor Claw, slow on boosted attack. So that is a double slow, which is really good in teamfight. So literally imagine just slow, 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 slow. So that's so much slowing down of the opponents. When you combine this with Swords Dance, when you start, you will go in with Swords Dance first, Bullet Punch, Technician. Or if you have 3 hits, the math would be Swords Dance move, Technician, Bullet Punch, Technician, and then you're boosted. But if you have 4 hits, then... Sorry, this is still 3 hits. Okay. So if you have 4 hits, it will be Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, 1, 2, 1, boosted. But if you want 5 hits, this will be easier. We'll just Swords Dance, 1, 2, 5, and then a Pierce. Or you can do Swords Dance, Bullet Punch, 1, 2, Pierce. Also works because you're doing 5 plus 2 using your Technician. And then as established Unite move, if you want, you can push, but you notice that the clone spawns in front of you, there's no clone behind you. If you want to activate and push into, let's say, this clone, then you need to move a bit first, then push your opponent into this clone. But you can use Sword Stance also, which also works and gives you extra hits. Now, this is the interesting part of the video, which is what a lot of people come for, the Bullet Hit Scizor, because Bullet Hit Scizor is genuinely the hardest one to play. If you exclude Scyther first, Scizor is the harder one to play among the Bullet Dance and Bullet Hit build. For the Bullet Hit build, you have less damage, but you have more reach, and you can use the reach to translate into more damage. So firstly, a double hit gives really super high mobility. You can jump through a lot of the walls in the map Double hit, very useful move. You can use to engage on a lot of Pokemon, which is really just something you would want on a brawler, especially for Scizor. He has 0 to no mobility if you put on the Sword Stance build, so double hit, really useful move, would 100% recommend on Scizor. Now for bullet hit. For most pro players, you would know that there's such thing called animation cancellation. This animation cancellation does apply for a lot of different Pokemon. One example is Mew. The animation cancellation can help Mew launch basically an electro ball before, and you can place a light screen and the ball would still be boosted. You can use the animation cancellation. So what animation cancellation means is, in the middle of the animation of one move, you launch your other move and stack the effects of your first move onto your second move. But, well, you might ask, how does this help Scizor? Well, this means that the bullet punch, the range, is almost doubled. Not almost actually, it's doubled. It's multiplied by probably 3, because my bullet punch can't typically reach the substitute doll from here. But if I use animation cancellation, I will reach the substitute doll, have my second attack from double hit, and place the marker on it. See, the marker for Scizor looks like that. So once again, bullet punch. That's Razor Claw. That's slow. That's Razor Claw. That's slow. So really, Razor Claw's golden on Scizor. Amazing move. You are still stacking the effects of double hit onto your opponent, which is the reason why bullet hit is so useful. You can use it to maneuver through a lot of walls. Let's say you want to do this, you can do that. You can do this. You can do this. Basically, there's so much you can do with the double hit combos. You can move around walls. If you time it correctly, you can engage on so many things. It makes yourself basically an unpredictable brawler, which is what gives the scare factor nowadays, which is your element of surprise. You can catch opponents off guard. Let's say you are here and you wanna escape. You don't have to take the jump pad. You can just engage onto the bunny here and then use the double hit. So now, for maximizing the utility of your second double hit move, you would want to turn on your advanced control settings. So what you notice between default and advanced is that you are lacking this button, that I'm pressing right now. This button makes your basic attack primarily target a wild Pokemon. This is very important for double hit, especially when you're running from your opponents. Now you ignore this and basic attack onto the nearest wild Pokemon. That in itself is mobility. And then double hit on, and then dash. And you can use this dash to go through walls actually. Like let's say you're running, then you wanna latch onto this guy. You can do so. So you can go through walls using your double hits second attack. So double hit Scizor, very useful. You just need some practice and over time you'll get used to it. And definitely full heal for any emergency use. Okay, now for Scyther. Okay, first I'm gonna go through the Scyther Sword Stance build, which in my opinion is the worst build on Scyther. Although it works when you're not the core of the team. You need, let's say you're playing 5 stacks, dual Q, trio Q. You cannot play Sword Stance Scyther if you don't have another carry Pokemon, because Sword Stance Scyther is not a carry Pokemon, okay? Sword Stance, Technician, Dueling Beat, Technician, Dash, that's boosted. That's the combo, okay? Sword Stance Technician, Dueling Beat, Technician, Engage, that's your boosted. One more time, Sword Stance, So you see the damage, total damage 23k. You're fully utilizing your sword stance here. Yeah, it's full on. And the unite move, you see the illusions, they spread out way further than Scizor's unite move. These unite moves will be destroyed upon getting hit by an opponent. Not wild Pokemon. This doesn't apply for wild Pokemon. You notice that the double hit Scyther is also, the double hit marker is also there. For every Pokemon hit by the first charge, it's gonna be there. So it's gonna be very useful. Okay, Swords Dance Scyther, not much explaining to be done. Sorry, I messed that up. Not much explaining to be done for this particular build. It's just moving and, well, charging in, dealing some damage, you know. Not much combos going on, so this is way more macro than micro. But if you want to do double hit, okay, this is the one that, well, I'm gonna spend a bit more time on because it's my personal favorite build, and it's a build I've been living on for most of my time as a Scyther main. This particular build is the Assassin's build. So, as mentioned earlier, there's such thing as animation cancellation. Well, this works for Scyther, and this also gives Scyther an extra, extra little dash. So you want to target your movement button. So let's say I want to engage and then dash this way. You can do so. So that's a nice little dash over there if you see. See, after I hit, then I dash this way. If I want to dash the other way, I can also do so. So basically, so much to do with this thing. And also once again places the marker so you can do your whatever combo you want. Okay, now I do want to say that the dual hit build, it's largely based on your instincts in the game. There's never really a fixed set of combos for Scyther, but rather it's basically how you instinctually execute each move and know when to charge in. So, as mentioned earlier, a good Scyther player will charge in when the enemies are clumped up together or they are spaced far apart. Your enemies must have engaged in a fight with your other teammates so that, well, they have used up their skills, not ready to deal with Scyther. Because Scyther is in fact an underpowered assassin, and you want to wait for the correct time for yourself to charge in instead of hope the opponents are not prepared for you. So you would also charge in when your unite move is readily available. Let's say it's at 95%, then okay, it's safe to charge in with dual wing beat and engage, and then, you know, charge in with your unite move and do all the necessary team wipes. You would also charge all your first damage on their squishiest member. So what do I mean by squishiest member? Member with lowest HP and lowest mobility, such as the mage type Pokemon, your Chandelier, your Delphox, your Gardevoir. You want to target them first. Then you will go for the long range snipers, Inteleon, Decidueye, Mew, Venusaur, and only after that would you start looking out for the, you know, the speedsters and the all-rounders. Why not speedster you charge first? It's because speedsters usually have a high mobility skill that allows them to dash away from their you and effectively almost end your combo. So if you notice the dual wing beat, the first slash goes first, so I would always aim for the first slash. If you notice your dual wing beat, the X is dependent on which way you're facing. X this way, top, bottom, diagonal. Okay, so let's say I would aim this. I would aim the X very close to the guy. Okay, so when you're charging in, keep in mind to keep your secondary moves in reserve. So what do I mean by secondary move? All three of your skills have a secondary move. So your dual wing beat, this dash is your secondary move. Your double hit, this extra basic attack is your secondary move. And your unite move, this extra dash is your secondary move. So you want to hit as many opponents as possible using your area based damage. So what do I mean by that? when you charge in with dual wing beat, try to look out for, you know, two opponents next to each other. Then your dual wing beat, there's some extra damage right there. See, double hit is single target, so that doesn't matter. But your unite move also, your secondary move, instead of, well, what a lot of people do, which is they unite move and then they charge off. Try to charge your unite move onto the opponent. That's extra damage. If you look at the total damage on the screen here, or the total damage here, if I do a normal unite move dash, I mean this single target, so you won't really feel the effects. 2706. If I dash onto him, that's 4577. And that's only a bit of difference if you think about it in the macro game, but if you do it in the micro game, it's gonna help. The extra damage is gonna help with your burst, taking down opposing Pokemon, and, you know, helping with the team wipe. So you want to stay away from the tanks. Focus on eliminating the opponents with your double hit marker. If you don't have one, then you just put the double hit marker on it. And you want to maximize the utility of your Razor Claw slowing effect to keep opponents near you. So dual wing beat, slow, then I would engage, you know, on an opposing Pokemon while he's slowed. Okay, defeat the opposing Pokemon and, you know, unite move, so it's easier for me to, you know, wipe him. That's way better off doing that than focusing all your resources on one Pokemon only to realize that, you know, you can't wipe him and therefore you can't wipe the others because your moves don't get a reset. And also, just to say, for those that think Scyther doesn't have sustain, Scyther does have some form of sustain. Scyther does, it's a little bit on the healing of dual wing beat. It's plus about 900. You see there? The heal is gonna help in your micro game. So now I will show you, I would show you a few combos, but I think it's better off that you guys watch my combos in my gameplay, in the actual ranked match gameplay. So if you want a better idea of how the combos work, you can check out my Silver Slasher Scyther video, where I collate a few of my best Scyther gameplays for your learning and entertainment. I will card it in the screen right now. So keep practicing and you'll eventually master this Pokemon. But that's it. Basically all I have to say. Scizor and Scyther are very versatile Pokemon, as the builds are somewhat similar. Yes, Scizor does, in my opinion, need a rework because currently it has a 0% pick rate in Worlds, and that speaks for itself as to how much power this Pokemon has. Scyther, well, the power, in my opinion, is usually only recognized by Japanese players, and, well, you don't really see a lot of players from other regions outside of Japan being, you know, good at Scyther and using Scyther in an actual 5-stack build. So hopefully this tutorial does help you out. It is truly amazing to see a Master Scizor Scyther at work on the battlefield, and such work is really, you're manifesting it from years, months, weeks of practice. So if you keep going, someday you'll also get your gold ribbon.